Hey everybody, Carla here, and I think you'll notice that I haven't been around for a minute. Yeah, last week was really hard. Last week was really hard, and if I hadn't mentioned it before, I'm doing a lot of green juices. I'm incorporating some food because I'm not on an official fast, but I am doing a lot of green juices during the day. And whether you're fasting or just incorporating more juice into your life, you will find that you will have some detox symptoms, both physical and emotional detox. Now, I've done a lot of videos about physical detox, and I don't know how many I've done about emotional detox, but it's really something that we need to talk about today. It's something that is so important, and let's just go ahead and get into it because it's not pretty. It's actually quite the bitch. It is. If my last week is example enough for anyone. And I know I didn't shoot any videos during it, but I'm telling you, there was a lot of stuff that came up in me, just old hurts and past graves, and it was surprising. It really just kind of threw me for a loop, and I ended up spending a lot of time in bed, just away from the world, like, okay, I can't do this. It's important though. And even though it's not pretty in any way, shape, or form, it is something that during your juice fast or as you incorporate more juicing and raw foods into your life, it is something that you will go through. And it may hit you on day 12. It may hit you on day 32. It may hit you on day 54. Whenever it does, it feels like it came out of nowhere. And you are almost assaulted with these thoughts and feelings about your past, about old grief that you have previously nurtured yourself through with food. As you are detoxing though, you're releasing those toxins from the fat cells that you're now getting rid of. So now they come up. It's like these old hurts were kind of cushioned in this fat, and as you're releasing it, the old hurts come right back up. The only thing to do is to deal with them. And I'm telling you, it looks ugly. But here's the thing. I heard this a really long time ago, and I've held on to this belief. When you've cooked something that may be scrumptious and just ends up being really messy in a pot, and then you try to wash that pot afterwards. Let's say you left it in the sink and it's been there for a little while and it's just crusty and dried and just not pretty. When you pour fresh, clean water onto it, maybe a little soap, when you pour that soap on and you start scrubbing it, the pot looks even worse, right? It looks just nasty, and let's say you took an SOS pad to it and it's just greasy and nasty and ugly. And as you pour more water onto it, more fresh, clean water, and use more soap, all of that ugly gets washed away. And in the end, you end up with a clean pot. This is what dealing with your emotional detox is like. In the beginning, as you're adding the fresh fruits and vegetables to your body, that detox that comes up, both emotional and physical, looks ugly. You feel terrible. You feel emotional. You want to cry. You want to scream. You just want all of that, right? As you're detoxing more, you've got to move through it. Don't use food to stuff it down. You want to make sure that you get through it by releasing the toxins and releasing that old hurt and emotion in you. And as you do that, you will move through and be on the other side. So how do you do that? I have to tell you that, I've talked about my mother in these videos, and we're really close, and she's the only one who will accept my phone calls at 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I call her. If I'm going through something, I'm like, Bobby. I mean, she's not the only person who'll accept my phone calls now. I realize that now, after going through it. What I do know is that she is the one that I reach out to, because she will listen as I'm going through what I'm going through. And sometimes she tries to fix, but mostly she just listens to what it is that I have to say. As you talk it out with someone who is dear to you, you will find that the fears and the emotions and the hurts and the nonsense that's going on in your head, you can move through. The nonsense that's going on in your head is just not true. Last week, I was really very upset at myself for the things that were going on in my head, for the things I was saying to myself that I know are not true. However, in order to move through all of that nonsense, I had to talk it out. And I talked it out with my mother, and I talked it out with another friend, and I was able to understand that it's just not the truth of me. And as I went through it and realized that, you could either use this food, pizza and Haagen-Dazs, you can either use it to go through it or just to numb it, or you can realize that the food is only going to make you feel worse on the other side, because it does. There's nothing that pizza and Haagen-Dazs is going to do for you on the other side but make you feel like, why did I eat that pizza and Haagen-Dazs? When if you deal with the emotion that you're feeling, really feeling, as opposed to numbing, you will find that you are a stronger person on the other side of it. This is a really important video for anybody who decides to go on a juice fast, because you will hit this place where all of your old stuff comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is terrible. It's okay. It's okay. You can move through it. Reach out to your support systems. Cry. Crying is excellent for you. It's good for the skin. No, really. It's just, you need to release it. Don't keep it in. Talk through it. Laugh at some great movies. Do what you have to do. Stay in bed if you need to. And then in a little while, it will be better. I had to tell myself that this week. And look, it's all better now. It is all better. And sometimes you have to stop everything that you're doing just to move through it. And that's okay too. Do whatever you have to do to move through that moment, okay? It's all good. No one wants to hear that when you're going through it. So don't shoot the messenger. But it's true. It is for your best benefit. So stay strong and move through it. And I will see you later.